Now in your reading, every main category has a major arcana card, and I don't think I've seen that very often recently. Now the cards on the left for your past, you receive the Knight of Wands and the Tower. Now a lot of readers try to put a positive spin on the Knight of Wands, but I think he's one of the most undesirable cards in the deck. He's very impulsive, and at times I even question his sanity. And the word humility is not even in his vocabulary. He'll gallop by and wallop you on the head with his wand almost to unconsciousness. And if this is you, since wands are fire and fire equals Leo, stop it. And if it's somebody in your life, stop them. You'll find that conflicts navigate towards this guy, and he takes no prisoners. Quick and unexpected changes can flow in his arrival and his wake. There's an energetic transformation that's occurring, but everything about it is really rough around the edges. He portends change, and possibly in residence and family discord. So it really is time for you to take control. But I think the cosmos made that decision for you because you received the Tower card. The Tower card shows up when he's most needed. There's been a sudden change of circumstances. It's time for you to get rid of unneeded things. Throw things out. Throw the emotional baggage out. And use this card for self-correcting. Now it's really up to you which way the Tower falls. It can be positive or negative. Strangely enough, the Tower card is a neutral card. Whichever way the Tower falls, whatever's left standing is finally the truth. And this card can signify not only release, but relief. Now the cards next to it are the base of your spine of what I consider sourcing and urgings. And this can be from past experiences all the way up to the present and how your unconscious self feels about it. And you receive the Nine of Swords and the Wheel of Fortune. Now the Nine of Swords is a sorrow card. You feel victimized or maybe a martyr of misfortune. Lately you feel like adversity has beset you or maybe even got the best of you. I don't know, there's been some melodramatic chaos going on in your life, but it sparked these dejected feelings. Whatever happened to have the Tower fall, you're laying awake at night and it's bothering you. You could even have some regret, remorse, resentment. And the gears are spinning and you can't get to sleep. And you're in some kind of morass. And it's time to get out of that. And the clarification card is the Wheel of Fortune. It's saying here that the evil in your past can be transmuted into good fortune. The balance of life is changing and it's going from evil to good. And it's bringing with it some revolutionary prospects. Change is at hand that dramatically sways away from the status quo. It's time for you to let go of the past. The present is already the future and the past is always there, but we can't let it haunt us. As with the Tower card, the fate is out of your hands. If you didn't make a right decision or any decision at all, that's why you're seeing the Tower card and the Wheel of Fortune. The cosmos made the decision for you. Now fortunately, it's bringing an auspicious time for you to act. And that's what the Wheel of Fortune is saying. A lot of times in life, it's timing. But you can't expect things to drop in your lap and just say, oh yeah, I got the Wheel of Fortune, so I'm going to just be the luckiest person in the world. It's time for you to act and change too. It's time for you to bring these changes that you've had in your mind into a reality. Now the cards up above for your pelvic and sacrum for what I consider your spiritual awakening, growth of all kinds, and even your sexual prowess. You receive the Ten of Swords and the World. Now you've graduated from the Nine of Swords to the Ten of Swords. You feel betrayed, stabbed in the back. You might even be abused at times, verbally or physically. Whatever it is, there was some kind of heavy momentum that brought you to a crash and burn point. Now the 9 underneath it indicates coming to completion. And the 10 is endings and new beginnings. So it's saying that you're going to wrap things up. So it's saying that you're coming to an end of a cycle. And the Wheel of Fortune is reminding you of the cyclic, abstract, obscure nature of destiny and fate. And then again, the clarification card for the 10 of Swords is the World, and it's saying that you're at a completion point. You're at the completion of a cycle. You're ready to plant some new seeds and accept some new challenges. You've earned the right to wrap things up from the past and just let it go. Now the cards up on the top for your solar plexus, for your feeling and sensing. This includes your gut feelings, and you receive the 10 of Cups and the Strength card. So now you want to work towards some happiness. The 10 of Cups is a glimpse of heaven over the Rainbow of Cups. This is about family happiness, but the requirement of you is to live a simple life. Don't have a lot of wants. Just loving somebody is the simplest joy in life. And once again, we're at a 10 card, which means endings and new beginnings. And the Strength card is about acquiring patience. And when you do that, you acquire confidence too. The spirit of man requires constant taming. And you have to start identifying with the beast inside yourself and the beasts inside other people. Because I don't think some people have treated you right or appropriately in the past. Now it's time to balance compassion with intellect. And it's time to master your challenges, or they definitely will master you. Now the center cards for the heart of the matter, receive the Hermit and the Queen of Cups. The Hermit indicates that you desire a change in your unconscious inner self. You're on a mission of desperately seeking you. You're doing some soul searching. It's time for you to take yourself away from the distractions of life and think things over. Gain some wisdom. You want enlightenment from his lamp and guidance from his staff. I know a lot of times when I'm involved in a situation, I'm very subjective about it until I leave and go somewhere else, and then I become very objective about it, and I can see a lot of things very clearly. And now it's time for you to shed some fruitless emotions and desires that are no longer serving you anymore. They're just not advantageous in your life. Now the Queen of Cups as the clarification card for the Hermit is about intuition. She wants you to listen to your inner self. She brings questions in that says, do you think to feel? Or do you feel to think? And what should you think? Or do you have some preconceived ideas about what you should be thinking? And what do you truly feel? And are you listening to your gut feelings? I think sometimes Leos have some runaway emotions that they have to balance out. You have to remember too that the Queen of Cups can give some excellent advice, but she can't follow her own advice, and keep that in mind. Now the cards on the bottom right for your throat for communicating and teaching, you receive the Magician and the Four of Swords. Let's talk about the Four of Swords first. This is a respite. You're in a time out. In the medieval days, the knights used to buy their tomb before they went out on campaigns. And now he returned and he's laying on this tomb, wondering what the purpose of life is, what the purpose of his life is, and why did he survive and some of his companions die? And where should he go in life now? And what will make him happy? But you're given a new beginning with the Magician. He can make something out of nothing just by his pure willpower and ideas. He gives you all the tools that you need to rebuild or build a better life. And since this is part of the communicating and teaching for the throat area, he's saying this has a lot to do with your communication. And Mercury oversees the Magician card, and that is about communication. And he does his abracadabra with his wand. And abracadabra actually means what is said is what is done. So now you have to start telling people what you desire, what type of changes should be made in your life, and actually mandate them. It's time now not to only take control of your life, take command of it. Now the cards up above for your third eye, for seeing and envisioning, you receive the Eight of Swords and the Hierophant. Now you're ensnared in some type of labyrinth. You feel incapacitated, restrained, shackled. You know, I want to say to you that a bad excuse is worse than no excuse at all. And it's time not to excuse yourself through things. I mean, you've been an actor in all of this, and at any time, you could break these chains and free yourself from this bondage, but you have not, and you do not want to do it. And the Hierophant is reminding you that you're looking for some truths. Maybe you're looking at some truths, but you're not seeing them. You're just looking, not seeing. Because the Hierophant is about seeking truth. The word Hierophant means to show or make known. And I think now you're starting to wake up and see a glimmer of truth. Just a glimmer, though. Let's go up to the crown and see what's going on for your knowing and understanding. The cards up above are the King of Wands, the Nine of Swords, and the Empress. So you're back at the Nine of Swords. Down here at the base of your spine, you had the Nine of Swords. So you've gone a full revolution. You're back to where you started from. You made no progress. But the King of Wands is back there to support you. He's to support you through some really challenging and difficult times. And he's bringing with him inner strength and ambition to change. And here along the top, you have the Strength card too. It is time to muster up the strength to change. So I pulled another clarification card for the King of Wands and the Knight of Swords and received the Empress. Now this is about new beginnings because she's about fertility and birth and creation. The nurturing mother is sowing seeds for growth. You're looking for pleasures from the material world with the Empress there. You're looking for a sense of fulfillment and unconditional love that I don't think you've been receiving. Now the future cards on the right, you receive Temperance and the Four of Wands. Now it's time to temper your behavior. It's time to come down to reality, get out of this Nine of Swords mode, Ten of Swords too, and go with the completion of the cycle with the Wheel of Fortune with the World card. Temperance is one of the few cards that can breach the unconscious to the conscious. And this can dispel the shadow self that comes out. It's time to moderate your life and have some self-control. This is where opposing forces clash, and hopefully there isn't an explosion. But it's saying good things are coming because you received the Four of Wands. And that's a card of celebration. This card keeps coming up in the strangest places and paired with the strangest cards. And it just reminds us that we as cosmic citizens are going through a lot of the same difficulties, but in different ways and in unique ways. Now the Four of Wands is saying that it's time to take a rest and enjoy some of the accomplishments in your life. But then again, it's also more about rites of passage, reunions, engagements, weddings, birthdays, graduations. And perhaps you're just reveling that you had the rites of passage of making it through the Nine and Ten of Swords. Whatever it is, the appearance of this card foretells the positive ascension in your life, which can be related to even just business dealings, marriages and relationships, friendships, with a heavy emphasis on family. Now I pulled the During Virtue Messages of the Angel card, and you received Azure. Your desired outcome will occur in the very near future. Have patience and faith, and don't try to force it to happen. So patience is the Strength card, and faith is the Hierophant. So it's kind of just saying, let things go with the flow. But then again, you can't always do that, and you have to make some decisions and some good decisions. But you'll do the right thing with the Magician. It's time to rebuild. And I wish you acceptance, peace, and happiness.